How's it going, guys? Trader Neil here, back at you with another crypto video. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some bullish altcoins that I am currently looking to pick up on this dip in the crypto markets. And so we've had a lot of war news come out over the last really couple weeks here, and we've now had a pretty substantial dip in the markets that I am looking to pretty much gobble up and buy some let's just say strong altcoins in a certain sector that I think can do pretty well over the next month or two. But before we get started, guys, as always, would really appreciate it if you did like this video, subscribe to my channel at Trader Neil, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I post these videos pretty much every couple of days, guys, and I'm going to, for sure, now that we got a better dip in the markets, start posting even more, just because whenever we do get opportunity in the markets, guys, whenever we're not just seeing sideways price action day after day with Bitcoin sitting at 108 110k, whenever we finally get a dip, that I'm sure a lot of people, with me included, have been waiting for, I think you got to be quick to be able to try to snipe it and look for certain coins that have your interest. And so for me personally, guys, I just want to start out with telling you the first coin that has the biggest amount of interest for my port coming up. And I know it's not super shiny, it's not a super new coin, but I really do think that based off of, market structure, based off of, a couple of factors that are coming in terms of governmental fundamental analysis, that this coin can do pretty well over the next couple weeks. And that is MakerDAO here. So I pulled up Maker here on CoinMarketCap, guys. Maker is currently sitting at $1,800. And honestly, guys, in terms of, market cap and things like that, Maker is only sitting at about 1 billion here. I know it's not a low cap or anything like that, but here's the thing. Maker in the project here, they are in the thick of it in terms of staking. And so Maker has been around, just like with Aave, has been around in terms of, let's just say, whenever it comes to staking Ethereum, staking stable coins. I've used Maker, I've used Aave, these DeFi protocols in the past, but Maker is still one out there that has been continuously innovating. Maker, the team has rebranded to Sky, but at the same time, what they have done, guys, is Maker has put in a protocol where they, with 50% of the profits they make from their DeFi protocol, they put that in to buying back the Maker token. And so pulling up the Maker chart here, guys, you can see that as well. Look at the Maker chart on a higher time frame perspective. Even locally it's strong, but if you look at Maker on the daily, guys, you can see that unlike a lot of charts that have had, bearish price action, that have had these, rolling over M shapes, these McDonald's patterns, these lower time frame crap that you see across the board, something like Maker here is having its own little bull run. Why do I say that? Because you have nothing but daily higher highs and higher lows here, guys. This is not something that I would be fading out there. Overall, I know a lot of people are afraid to buy altcoins in this space, but Maker is one that, combined with the team putting 50% of their protocol profits back into buying this token, that's giving something similar to Hyperliquid, guys. And I know a lot of you guys took my Hyperliquid call all the way back here whenever I gave it to you guys in my channel at 17-18 bucks, and that one printed hard. And looking at Hyperliquid now, by the way, just like talking about strong altcoins, this has come down and tapped the bottom side of this range to perfection. I actually gave this long trade in top tier signals, a free Discord that I give all of my signals in, guys. And if you want to sign up, click on the link tree in the description below. But this is one of the ones I gave them during the live stream, and that hit to an absolute T. But nevertheless, something like Hyperliquid, this has been in its own bull run pretty much because the protocol has been buying back the token and they care about their users as well. And Maker is doing something very similar. I do think, guys, altcoins, that put in protocols similar to Hyperliquid and Maker that go and use their profits to actually buy back the token to create demand for these tokens. These are the ones that are going to do well over the next coming months, and these are the ones that are going to very likely outperform Bitcoin, for example. Because if you're looking at stuff like, I don't know, ADA, XRP. I'm not trying to name out, shit coins here or anything like that, but you can see, guys, based off of the charts, like, do you see something similar whenever you're looking at Maker? If I pull up something like, I don't know, Algorand, something like another last cycle coin that used to do well, like, look at something like this. In terms of market structure, guys, like, this is not looking as good as something like Maker that has that bullish market structure perspective. Now, speaking of Algorand, maybe you do get a double bottom here. That's very possible, but I'm not one to trade these last cycle shitcoins as much as ones that I see something like Maker here, which I do, in my opinion, think has the potential to end up putting in a move back to these highs at some point. If you look at it in terms of a harmonic perspective as well, guys, you do see that Maker came down pretty much right to that 886, guys. That's beautiful here. And even if Maker loses this demand line and comes down, I do think at that point you could be looking for a double bottom scenario here. But at this point, as long as the demand line is holding, guys, I am going to be looking for higher prices. And Maker is one that I hold in my port. That's one that I am looking at more of a long-term perspective. And one more thing alongside Maker, with the US Gov and the SEC and all these ETF issuers trying to push Ethereum and staking to be allowed for ETFs, Maker is going to be huge for that. It's a DeFi protocol and staking happens on Maker. So it's going to have a big part of it. And with Circle IPOing, as you guys have probably seen, and I'll pull up the chart here. Look at the Circle price ever since the IPO, guys. Circle, if you guys don't know, Circle Internet Group is the company behind the USDC stablecoin, which I'm sure all of you guys use who are in crypto. USDC is our main stablecoin of choice besides USDT to be able to buy and send crypto, right? Ever since the IPO in the stock market, the Circle price has went up 350%, guys. Absolutely insane. And so Circle a big company that like this that is getting pushed and people have demand for it to want to be in the stablecoin and crypto space. I'm pretty positive that a coin like Maker is going to be a beneficiary of that, because this is a protocol that relies very heavily on stablecoins and makes a lot of its revenue through the staking of them. So just another thing to add in the toolbox. All right, guys, so we're going to be talking about my sponsor, Breakout Prop Firm, really quick, guys. Are you someone in crypto that has had a lack of liquidity? You're seeing all these P&Ls posted on Twitter. Your friends are flexing their P&Ls. They're flexing their dollar P&Ls. And you just want to get into that game and you want to be flexing your own P&Ls. Well, fear no more. Breakout Prop Firm is going to be that prop firm that will help you do exactly that. Because with Breakout, guys, this is essentially your way of playing with someone else's money. In fact, for just $800 with a one-step evaluation, you can potentially start trading with up to $100,000 of an account size here, guys. With $100K, you could be trading big money with only putting up small risk here, guys. And in my opinion, that is the best thing you can be doing. All you have to do with buying the evaluation is past the 10K account goal, or if you get any of the smaller accounts past those account goals, all you have to do is trade to that amount. Boom, you hit that amount and bam, you get $100,000 of money to play with, and then you can have that money to be able to trade anytime. All you have to do is follow the max daily loss and max drawdown parameters, but you can trade up to 5x leverage, guys. They have tons of coins on their exchange. As you guys can see, they've got Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and they've got tons of altcoins. They list altcoins pretty much the day that they come out. And so if you guys want to trade with up to $100,000 of someone else's money and be able to trade those altcoins we'll be talking about in the rest of the video today, definitely check out Breakout Prop Firm. Here's the URL, and then use my code in the top right here to be able to get a nice discount on your evaluation. Definitely worth it, and then let me know how you guys like Breakout in the comment section below. All right, guys, back to the video. Couple other things, guys, besides just looking at Maker, we taking a look at Ethereum here, just to give you guys an update on ETH. ETH has come down to a very, very important weekly level here. And so Ethereum has come down to this 2127 level. I think one could make the argument that this is your swing that you're looking for on ETH to put in a potential low here. What I mean by that is, for Ethereum, guys, you want to see this be a deviation. This move down over the beginning of 2025, you want to see this as a deviation, and then currently this retest of 2122, this is what you want to see held for a higher low. And honestly, like, I am a big buyer of Ethereum here, and especially for my long-term bags. Why is that the case? Because it's so easy to strategize, guys. If we lose this level at 2131 on the weekly, then I am going to start getting bearish Ethereum, and I'm going to probably drop my bags, because who knows where this could bottom if this level gets lost. But for now, guys, as long as this level holds on Ethereum, I am going to be looking for higher prices. And so that's that on Ethereum. We talked about Hyperliquid, guys, and then just a couple more that I want to mention here. I think Fartcoin is one you definitely want to have on your radar, especially on the daily chart. Of course, Fartcoin has been a very, very strong coin over the last couple months, guys. Now, what I will say here is Fartcoin has been starting to lose some strength. You know, on the daily chart here, you can see that Fartcoin is struggling to stay above the previous month low and monthly open levels here. I will say though, guys, if Fartcoin comes down and retaps this area, and I'll even draw a box around it as well, because I do think it is a very important higher time frame area. Anywhere between this golden pocket level at about 7.7 to 0.7 cents is where you want to see Fartcoin hold. You have a lot of confluence in this zone, and if Fartcoin holds in this area, I do think you could get a nice higher low on the horizon. Taking a higher time frame volume pull here, you know, you do have your value area high of the entire chart here on Maker coming in about 5.5. So even if it does get a bit of a dip lower into this zone, as long as you see something like this and a change in market structure on the daily, for example, this could be how the summer progresses, for example, on Fartcoin. You know, sideways price action, a bit more of a dip, and then a reclaim before sending into Q3, Q4, very possible. So I think on Fartcoin here, you know, even if local strength isn't to be seen, I will say that over the next couple months, if you start to see prices come down in the zone, you can have a easy invalidation trade here. I would be holding Fartcoin above this 5.6 level. You know, of course, if it loses that, I'll probably cut it, because then of course you could see it come down all the way to 3.4, then you could see it come down to these lows, and obviously down to even these levels at 0.03 over time if things get really bad. But as long as it's above 5.56, I think this is a nice accumulation zone. Of course, it's getting a bounce right now, guys, but just keep it on your radar for Fartcoin over the long term. And then one more that I want you guys to keep your eye on here is Aave. So Aave, just like Maker, guys, has been a big beneficiary of the staking narrative across ETFs, and also the stablecoin narrative when it comes to Circle and Coinbase too. And so Aave has done extremely well over the last couple months. As you guys can see, it had put in a bottom here at 122, 130. And then, interestingly enough, guys, on Aave, I gave my students the Pico bottom call here on Aave here at 120 a couple months ago when Bitcoin came down to that 119 zone. I was pretty proud of it, and it went up 171%. I did give it in my students' Discord group, by the way, guys. And up until our first fresh class of students starts on June 30th, so a week from today, I will be taking more signups to my mentorship, guys, if you all are interested. And so to be able to sign up for that mentorship, I'll just put the Google form in the description below. You guys just pretty much put in your information there, your Discord username, things like that, and I'll reach out to you if you guys want to sign up for my 5-week mentorship. You get Discord access to all my calls, and you get to be able to learn TA from me and my style of trading. So definitely check that out. But yeah, like one of the calls I gave them was Aave here at 116, and this ran up really hard. And I do think Aave here is in a great position to put in a potential higher low. Do I think it could come down to this golden pocket still? Very possible, but from this low, you do see Aave getting a nice bounce off this anchored VWAP as well from the low. That's, if you guys want to see, let me show you exactly how I take the pull here, a little education. Anchored VWAP on your volume based side here on the left side. You place that right at your low from April, and then boom, it will pop up. And then you can see that Aave came down last night for that perfect bounce from that level. And so that's a nice little tool to be using. And as long as Aave is really above 210, that will look really good for a potential higher low. However, zooming in here, guys, you really want to see Aave crack back above this 240.48 level, because until it really closes the daily back above there, you know, for a reclaim, something like this, the problem here is on Aave is that you could very easily just put in a bearish retest and then come back down for this golden pocket zone. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, just ending the video where we started, Maker is the coin that I have on my radar right now and that I am looking to continuously pick up, especially after that dump last night across the market. I do think that Maker is a strong coin here, and you know, with the stablecoin narrative going strong, with, you know, the team at Maker putting in 50% of their profits to buy back the token, I do think this is a coin that could have a fresh and really strong narrative over the next couple months. All right, guys. Perfect. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, again, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you stay till the end of the video, definitely put in the comment section below altcoin summer. Do it right now before we leave this video. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. This is Trader Neil signing out, and I'll catch you guys for another video very soon. Peace.